Good evening. I'm Calli Block and welcome to Blissful Life Corporation's Friday night class, Destress and Stretch. It's less than 24 hours since I've seen you because the last night we did the full moon salute and it was fabulous. And so let's give a shout out to the moon if you want to, because it'll still be beautiful tonight, by howling at the moon just to get our bodies warmed up and feel the breath starting to go in our bodies. So at your own pace, you can do it through all the when we're holding poses, you can do it through all those. I need to breathe. But anyhow, when you want to, if you wish to, bring that energy up, that life force up, and visualize the wolf and its place in American Indian history. And so when you're ready, just be creative. Woo, 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 woo. Ow, woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. The last one was the city-fied wolf. Just go with it. Also, just a quickie, the next full moon salute will be Friday, June 5th, 9:30. I'm really enjoying it so much, sharing it with you, because that's something I love to do, as well as the mantra meditation that I do on Sundays. But even more important is I try to offer Destress and Stretch on Fridays, so you can sort of let your week go and start to open up and smooth yourself over for the weekend. So this is Blissful Life Corporation's Facebook series. I am Calli. All classes at Blissful Life Corporation are donation based. That's so the magic of yoga can be available to all. If you wish to donate, and for that we would thank you a great deal, you can go to paypal.me/donatebliss. Please make a note of what class your donation is for, so we can support our teachers. You can do the date, you can do the teacher's name, you can just say Friday Destress and Stretch for, what is it? Whatever today is, May 8th. And so take a moment to find your seat. I apologize for the backlighting, but that's just how it is right here, right now. So you want to sit up on your sit bones. If you want to, you can lie down for a couple moments and just breathe, and then join us again sitting. Sit slightly forward from your hips. Feel your body becoming weightless. The natural arch in the back is supporting us. If you're sitting slightly forward, it's like a balance, like a bandha, like a lock, because now you're not using any muscles and your whole body is open, your torso is open, and you can breathe. And breathing is one of the most important things while we're doing our yoga. It doesn't matter how flexible we are, or how far we can go, or how strong we are. If you cannot breathe, you are not doing yoga. Also, tonight's little mantra is creating space in your body. Hopefully by the end of this class, you will feel longer, taller, stronger, and it's a wonderful feeling without being tight. That's what's great about yoga. All the other exercise regimes bring stress into the muscles. In yoga, we are lengthening the muscles. We are moving everything away from the center to the divine, from the earth to the universe. So just find your balance. If you're lying down, you can take a couple more breaths and relax. If you're sitting, find your balance. If you're uncomfortable with one side or the other, you can have one leg straight out or both legs straight out. I like the triangular part with the balance on sitting, because then you don't fall over if you do find yourself going into meditation, which everything we do in Hatha Yoga is to allow us to sit without discomfort for longer periods of time. And it makes a difference, and it's also good for opening the body so the breath can be full. So as you're lying down or as you're sitting, just start to watch your breath. and see if you can deepen the breath a little bit. Each inhalation, your chest opens more. Each exhalation, you really press the old air out with the belly. My understanding of yogic breathing, how it helps me to remember, is when you inhale, press your belly button out, your diaphragm drops, the breath comes in from the lower chest to the upper chest to the back of the neck. And exhale, you relax your shoulders, your chest, and you're pulling your belly button in. The diaphragm lifts there and pushes out all the old air. So a couple deep breaths. If you're not sure you're doing it, let one hand be on your belly, the other hand on your upper chest, and inhale, push out that belly button. Feel the body opening and lifting. Exhaling, relax your chest. And at the end, pull that belly button in. Couple deep more breaths. Figure each inhalation, you're expanding your body. Each exhalation, you're letting go of tension. And there will always be one more exhalation. Now, if you're lying on the back, just bring your knees to your chest and you can massage your lower back a little bit. And then rolling onto your side and come up into your comfortable seated position, however that may look. You can have a cushion underneath your buttocks. I like it being under the sit bones because that gives me space to have that slightly forward tilt in the sacrum. Very balanced, very open. Take a deep breath in, sit as tall as possible, and exhale. You're just going to let your chin roll down towards your chest. Come to the natural place where it's stopping without straining. Pause between the exhalation and on the inhalation, lengthening from your tailbone. Get the idea that your spine is vertebra by vertebra. When you get to the back of your ears, that's when your chin comes up. Opening the entire front of the body. Exhale, your chin comes back through center. And rounds down towards your chest. Think about your shoulder blades being heavy. Feel how far down your back you may be feeling this. Inhale from the earth. We're going to lengthen, creating space between each vertebra as we come up. And we get to the top of the neck, or behind the ears, lift. Feel the opening in your sternum. Once more, exhale, the chin comes through neutral, and then we round it down. Shoulder blades are low. Take a deep breath into your upper back. Exhale. Inhale, rounding the sit bones. Start to lengthen through the spine, through the neck. And then at the end, lift your chin. Lift, take a breath, exhale, inhale. Once more, exhale. The chin comes down to your chest, stretching the back of the body. Like I said, notice how far down you're feeling it. If you want to, you can round a little bit more. Just don't go crazy with this. This is just exploring. Feeling it going down to the tailbone, and then grounding the tailbone. Inhale, lengthen up, vertebra by vertebra, to the back of the neck, and lift your chin. Now, if you're comfortable here, you can open your mouth slightly and make circles in each direction with your chin. It feels really sort of cool and weird on your neck. And the other way. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring your chin back to neutral. Take a breath in. Exhale, let your nose go over to the right side. Let your eyes look all the way to the right. The shoulders are relaxed. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn, look over your left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn, look over your right shoulder. Your shoulder blades are down. Your sternum is opening. Inhale, center. Exhale, look over your left shoulder. If there's cracklies, that's fine. If it pops, not a good thing. Inhale, center. And now, as we turn, look over our right shoulder. The left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. The right hand comes up behind you. I almost knocked these screens down last night. So you're going to ground your right hand behind you. Inhale, press through that right hand, creating space in the vertebra. Remember, that's what we're working on tonight. And then exhale, gently pull. The reason we gently pull further is because we are contracting, and that can give us a little bit more space to move. Inhale, lengthen through the right hand. Exhale, gentle press with the left hand. Don't worry about putting your nose back as far as possible until you find you've come far enough. Then you can set your body so your neck is free, and then you can look a little bit further. Sometimes you have more space, but look all the way over your right shoulder. Now notice, even with the length in our spine, in a twist, there's a little bit of constriction around the abdominal area, and so try to make your breath a little deeper, a little longer. You'll feel a different stretch in your lower abdomen. Gently unwinding, inhale, your right arm comes up, the right hand's to the right knee, the left hand's to the left knee. Exhale, your chin goes to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Notice the difference. Inhale, center. Does this part of your body feel bigger or opener? Or maybe a little tight? Inhale to center. Exhale, right. Inhale to center. And as we exhale our nose to the left, the right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. The left hand comes up. Bring it behind you. Fingertips facing towards you or after. But if you can have your palm by your buttocks, you can inhale, press into that palm. See how I'm creating more space. Exhale, gently pull. It's not up in the shoulders, it's not a thing. I'm just pressing my hand a little more firmly into the top of that left thigh. Oops, I was having my shoulder up on my ear. Roll it down. When your shoulders are by your ears, that means you're carrying a lot of stress. In yoga, you learn to look at your body and feel your body and breathe with your body. And you'll say, oh, I'm not breathing fully, so just take a breath. Don't get upset or anything. Just when you notice something, take care of it. And as we move with conscious awareness in yoga, there's less of a chance of us doing something quickly or sharp and hurting yourself. So inhale. The left arm comes up, the hands go to the corresponding knees. Exhale, the nose to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Now take a breath, lengthening, because we may have contracted a little bit with the twisting or whatever. Lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. And maybe you're a little taller, just a little bit. Maybe your knees are a little lower down, maybe just a little bit. Take a breath in, exhale, let your right ear go towards your right shoulder. Feeling the stretch, maybe out down on the left side below the shoulder blade. Inhale, center. Bring your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Take a breath in, exhale, let your left ear go down towards your left shoulder. Now one side can be totally different than the other side. This side's a little achy. I was doing yard work today. Don't tell anybody because I'm a very lazy person. Notice that your weight is equal weight on the hips. Inhale, come up. Bring your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Now, we're going to do a little bit of a side stretch. So, you're going to let Okay, you're gonna let your right hand go on the floor, straight out from the hip or whatever's comfortable. Take your left hand, push the hand away, the palm away, see how the shoulder drops. See how I'm lifting from my left hip all the way up to my fingers. Exhale, this elbow soft, no death grip. We're going to just gently let the fingers walk away. And when you come to the point where just before your left butt cheek or sit bone lifts, you're just going to let that right hand ground. Lengthen the spine, lengthen the back of the head, press that left hip down, and reach even further. Feel how much space you have on the left side of your body. It's incredible how easily we can contract ourselves into tightness, and also it's easily with moving with conscious awareness that we can open up that space. Inhale, the left arm is leading you up. Exhale, let that hand come down, touching gently the ground. Both hands are connected with the earth. Now notice the difference between your right and left side. There's no right or wrong, it's just important that it doesn't hurt. So now we're going to push the right fingers away, lift it up, of course the left hand straight out from the hip, lift up, and then walking the left fingers away as we come over. Keep that right butt cheek or the right sit bone down. When you come as far as you can comfortably, press through that right hand. Press that right hip and that right knee down. If you feel your body open some more, you can let the left hand adjust itself. Now we're not holding ourselves up with the left hand. The left hand is just touching the earth. So our body thinks, oh, I'm supported by the earth. You can lift your hand and see how it feels a little bit different. So just having that hand, not even pressing into the dirt, or the earth, just resting. Oh, and push through those fingers. Feel the shoulder blade. Inhale, lift up. Bring your left hand up. Bring your hands together. Exhale, bring them to your heart center. Namaste. Good evening. Inhale, we're going to bring the arms up. Interlace your fingers. Press your palms up to the ceiling. Take a breath in and exhale. Oh, just make big circles. Feel the right arm going in front of your chest. The left hand is sort of pulling that with you. Feel both hands go in the front. Then you start to press through the left side with the right hand lifting. Just feel how it changes. Your weight's really not changing that much on your sit bones. There's a little bit of lightness and heaviness depending on which way your palms are going. And find a wonderful place to stop. If you need to, you can move your fingers, press again, and go on in the opposite direction. I don't know if I'm going in the opposite direction. It's easy to forget your right or your left, especially as a yoga teacher, because a lot of times we are doing mirror image for our students so they can understand how to move into the pose with more ease, how it looks, not that we do it perfect. And then when you come to the center, take your hands, place them on the floor. Now we're moving forward from the hips. Right now, we're going to try to keep our spine straight as long as possible, and I'll show you how this looks from the side. And always make yourself ready for the next movement. In yoga, we don't go jumping around because that's how you get hurt. So I'm sitting straight, slightly forward from my hips. That natural arch is good in my back. I'm bringing my hands forward. So I'm moving first from my hips, bringing my hands forward, letting them open wide on the earth. You can look at your fingers if you want to. You can lift your thumbs off, lift your forefingers off, lift your business fingers off, lift your ring fingers off, and lift your pinky fingers off. And then you can just sort of put your hands on the thing. So once you come back to groundedness, you're going to walk your hands forward. Now try to get that movement coming from the hips. My back is staying straight. My shoulder blades are heavy. Now I've gotten to this point. I don't think I have anything more in it, but I'm going to sit here for 2 deep breaths. Inhale. into my lower back. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. Would you stop that? Hey. I have a critic back here. Her name is Frill. Okay, so I'm back to here. Take a breath in. Exhale. Let your elbows bend. I'm pressing forward with my sternum, but I'm also starting that roundedness. Now, if this is too much for your hips, just back off. Let your hands be where you're comfortable and try to relax. If you can go a little bit further, fine, but think about the breath. How is the breath working? Inhale, feel from the tailbone to the crown of the head, opening. Exhale, we created space in the hips, hopefully, and we can come further down. Now, you might want to have your eyes closed because sometimes my eyes get weird with this waffle board on the sticky mat. And your head hangs down. Inhale, you're going to ground your sit bone. Let your hands gently slide as you start to spine roll up. And then do a couple shoulder rolls. Notice how your spine feels. The hands are resting on the knees. I like to think of the additional energy in the hands, helping the knees, the thighs lengthen and the knees relax. Come as far forward as is comfortable and start to make big circles with your torso. Your head is not flopping. It continues to be in its alignment with the spine. We're just having it end the circle. And then find a place to come. I like to stop at the middle. Take a breath, see how I feel, wherever I feel different, and then going in the opposite direction. Oh, just one more. Exhale, forward, relax. Inhale, you're going to ground your tailbone and start to lengthen up vertebra by vertebra. Keep thinking about lifting as the vertebra straighten above, goes one above the other. Bring your shoulders up by your ears, back, and relax them down. Now we're going to work the fingers. Our fingers do a lot of work for us. I don't have fine finger dexterity, so I do try to keep them at least limber. Don't have a lot of strength in my hands, but you know, it is what it is. I love myself. I love the way it works, and that's just nothing I can do about it other than try to do it. My favorite thing is first you wiggle your fingers, open your hands out wide, make a tight fist, open your hands out wide, make a tight fist, open your hands out wide, make a fist, open your hands out wide, make a fist. Now loosen the fist. Maybe you want to wiggle your fingers a little bit more because you were holding the fist. And then make a very loose fist and make circles with your wrists. You can sort of get the elbows involved in it a little bit. It doesn't matter. And go in the opposite direction. And then wiggle your fingers. Now, I don't know if I showed it that well last time, and I'm going to come closer because I cannot even see myself over there because of the backlit. Okay, this is a wonderful thing to do, and I don't remember how I learned it. I'm sitting on my heels now. Luckily, with my body, with my hips and my knees and my feet, I can do that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the thumb and touch each knuckle of the fingers. You can start at the pointer. I like at the bottom. So touch the top, second, third, fourth joint. Ring finger, front, second, third, fourth joint. Business finger, front, center, second, third, fourth joint. pointer finger, top, first joint, second joint, third joint. And see how that feels. And now we're going to take each finger and touch the 4 joints in the thumb, including that. Your fingers don't ever get close to that, but you want to really feel what you're feeling. This is a wonderful way, and I've never heard anybody else ever doing it this way. And I don't remember where I learned it, but it was wonderful. So the first finger, top, first joint, second joint, third joint. Business finger, top, first joint, second joint, third joint. Ring finger, top, first joint, second joint, third joint. And pinky finger, top, first joint, second joint, third joint. And then wiggle your fingers. If you do a lot of hand work, this is a good thing to do in between. Now this is something double jointed people can do. It's so cool. You bring your hands together and then you let your fingers press into each other. That's the only good thing double jointedness is because you don't want to hyperextend your fingers. If you see, hyperextended. And that hurts. When I was a kid, I would do it and do it for so long I couldn't get my fingers out of it, so I learned. But it is a good thing to work your hands. Beep, 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 beep. So, you're going to take your right foot in front. You're going to grab your ankle. You're going to put your hands on your toes. And then you're going to push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. Now you're sitting sort of on your tailbone, but you still want to keep that openness in the front of the body. Then you can pull, my knee's having fun today. Pull your foot away from you and throw it away. Pull it away and throw it away. And then your ankle in both hands and shake that foot. And then you place that foot where it can be on the floor in front of you, and you're going to take your fingers and squeeze and release on your foot. You can go across the ball of the foot, you can push the toes, you can pull the toes down, you can squeeze. And another thing that's good is let the top of the right foot be on the right hand. We're going to take our thumb or forefinger, whatever is comfortable, and go from the heel all the way up to the big toe, and you'll feel the front of your foot stretching. The thumb up, nice pressure to the first pointer toe, second toe, then the third toe, then the fourth toe, and then the fifth toe. And then you can shake it a little bit more. Then bring the foot here, the hands or the fingertips are forward, the foot's on the floor as far as is comfortable. Turn the fingers down to the ground and squeeze your calves. Your fingertips are pressing into the middle of your calf muscle. And now you can squeeze a little bit in your thigh. You can squeeze a little bit on your arm. Just a gentle squeeze and release. That's why you call it squeeze and release. This is a good way you can massage yourself. And you can do the back of your neck a little bit, your palm on the left side and the fingers on the right side, and just a gentle squeeze. We're not really moving anything around, but you feel those two heavy muscle parts that are holding your head up. Nice to let them go. And then change your legs. I was gardening. All right, so you're going to grab your ankle, you're going to shake it. Feel those toes loose and free. Pull the top of the foot toward you and release. And notice one side's totally different than the other. That's perfectly fine. That's what makes you you. You're perfect as you are. Okay, and the grab, and then you can push and pull the toes. You can put your foot high on the thigh, and you can squeeze. You can grab your toes and do a little wiggle and pull. And then let the top of your left foot be in your left hand. You're going to take your right thumb and you're going to run it up to the big toe. And notice how, if you can see, these toes are moving. Our bodies are amazing. foot, hold away, release. Okay, so now we're going to do a different type of belly circle. My second yoga teacher did this, and I felt it was so charming, and it took me a while to figure out how to do it. So you're going to sort of isolate your shoulders and your hips. Your hips are isolated because they're on the ground. Your shoulders, bring your hands onto your knees. You're going to press into the hands a little bit, open the chest. So you're pressing yourself up from these hands. And then you're going to let your belly go in a circle. So the hips and the shoulders really don't move. The belly's going, the belly button's traveling in a circle. It really feels good. And it's worth trying. And then go in the opposite direction. Before we did it from the hips, now we're doing it from the belly button. Cool. Okay, so one of my favorite poses is a pose that you're using every muscle in your body. So it's called staff pose. And so we look like a staff. Straighten your legs, push the heels away and your toes towards you. Feel how the entire back of the legs and the top of the legs are engaged. Take your hands straight out from the hips, press down into your hands, lengthen, feel all the space. See if you can visualize a space between each vertebra. Shoulder blades are down, opening the sternum, and without collapsing down, just do the best you can because gravity is gravity and it's a great subject. Release your weight on your hands, and you're not dropping down much. And I like to have my hands on my knees. My knees enjoy the attention, but I'm not holding myself up. Ha-ha. As you inhale, feel your spine lengthen. As you exhale, feel your shoulders relax. Here you'll find sitting slightly forward. It's easier to hold this pose. If you're feeling it really bad in the calf or the calves or the thighs, just bend your knees slightly. That opens up a whole new can of worms, but it's not the can of worms we just left. Listen to your body. Get to know your body. Don't expect your body to do everything the way it did it the day before. Every day is a new day. Every breath is a new breath. And then we're going to come back, bring our feet under us. We're going to go into table pose. Your knees are hip width apart. The knees are directly underneath the hips. The tops of the feet are on the floor. Just let them rest. Your hands are either your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders or slightly in front. That depends on your wrist. That depends on your hands. The inside of your elbows are facing each other. If you're double jointed, you lock the elbow when the eye is forward. So you bring them so they face each other. Press the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Let your shoulder blades go down your back and towards each other. Table pose. Your weight is equidistant between your hands and your feet and your knees and your hands. Take a deep breath in, exhale, lift the belly button as you exhale around the back of your body. Inhale, go through center, continuing to open the front of the body as you drop your belly and pull up through the shoulders. Cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Pull up through your shoulders, feel that nice stretch in your upper back. Inhale. Cow pose, feel the belly drop. Feel the hips moving away from each other. The right from the left. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Bring your hips to your heels. Really pull that stretch in the shoulders. Inhale. Bending the elbows slightly, you're going to bring your chest close to the floor. Come up, cow pose. Now, if you have it in your wrist, you can come slightly forward. Feel how that, It changes the feeling here to here. I got a beautiful prism going on here. I wish I could show it to you. I have a few crystals. And then come back. Curl your toes under, take a breath in, exhale. Head and chest go through the arms. I need to open my feet out a little bit wider than hip width apart, just to create space in my hips, the hip crease. Shoulder blades are towards each other and low on your back. You can walk the dog a little bit. It doesn't matter if your heels are on the floor or not on the floor, whatever feels the most comfortable. Every day is a new day. Every day your feet have taken you somewhere different. So pay attention to what their needs may be. And then look forward, come up onto your heels. Exhale, bring your chest back. See how low you can go. We're not trying to go low, we're just increasing that stretch a little bit. Then look forward, and you can walk your feet to your hands or your hands to your feet. Forward fold. Your feet are hip width apart. The crown of your head is heavy. Clasp your opposite elbows. Relax your back. Your knees are not locked. This is a locked knee. Any energy coming up is going to stop right there. So to have that natural energy. Now, if you know that you lock your knee, you'll have to spend time trying to not do it because you automatically go into that. So the knees are slightly bent. Clasp the opposite elbows. And as you breathe deeply into your belly, see if you can feel on the exhalation that we've created more space in the spine. Then in this class we're going to be taller. Then release your hands down, bend your knees, and very slowly spine roll up. Feel how the weight goes onto the legs. Feel how you're lifting the knees, firming the buttocks and the quadriceps, and rounding up as much as is possible. And roll your shoulders forward, up, back, and around. Cool. So, we're going to find Tadasana. Oh, massage chair. I needed it so bad. Your feet are hip width apart. Now, some people like their insteps touching. That depends on their body. With my knees, which are double jointed, my knees are crammed into each other, and so that's setting my lower back out. So my feet are hip width apart or slightly more. So there's space. You lift your kneecaps, you firm your quadriceps, you tuck your tailbone just slightly. And notice, you are weightless. Take a breath in from the tailbone. Feel the entire torso lifting. Space between the vertebrae. Let the chin tuck slightly, lengthening through the back of the neck. We have that natural arch in our spine. Tadasana. And you're going to take your right hand. You're going to put the palm of the hand on the back of your neck and just gently squeeze the palm towards the fingers. A lot of awareness, so much information goes through your spinal column, through your neck, through the rest of your body. Cool. And notice how it feels. Then let that hand straighten up. Bring it straight out to the side. Bring it straight down. Bring it across your body. Take your left hand and gently pull it. Now I notice I'm feeling tight today, so I'm leaning over there, so I want to go back into my Tadasana. Everything, ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles are in the same alignment. And try to drop that shoulder. Then bring the arm down. Relax your shoulders. And then bring the other arm up. Stretch it up. Notice how the shoulder is staying down better. That's just the way it is today. It'll be different. And out to the side. You're not holding it up. The air is holding it up. Down. Press it down. Cross your body. Whew. Boy, my whole body's following my shoulders. And just pull. And then release. Oh, what's I sometimes remember what I'm going to do. We're going to do triangle pose. It's a very nice pose. It's very steady. Even though we're balancing, we have both feet on the ground. You can take your feet and just have them like a leg's difference apart. You don't want too much because then you're locking up through here. You don't want too little because then you don't have the room to move. So just fine. And the rule of thumb is a leg's difference between the 2 feet. Bring your hands to your hips. Lift your kneecap. Tuck your tailbone under. A lot of times people stand like this. You locked up your lower back. So tucking the tailbone under, notice that I'm coming straight. I'm creating more space because I can lift my spine above. And don't lift your chin. When you lift your chin, you're having a lot of tightness there, and that little fold of skin looks weird. So feet are comfortable distance away from each other. Take your hands and press them out. We're not holding up with the shoulders. We're not holding up with tightness. We're simply pushing our fingers away from each other. Feel those shoulder blades go down the back. Notice you have more space. You're not using a lot of energy holding this up. Don't ask me why. That's why I call yoga magic, because it is. Amazing things that you can learn about your body. So my insteps are parallel to each other. Now I'm going to pivot on the right foot. The right foot is going straight out to the right. Okay. Notice how my torso is changing. I'm going to take the left toes and bring them maybe an inch or two towards there. So nothing's really changing, but this is starting this movement over the hip. Both arms straight. Keep the torso straight. Come over the right leg. Keep pressing, pressing, pressing. Try to relax your neck. When you get as far as is comfortable, let your right hand come to the floor. I like to look at the floor or look straight ahead. Some people like to look up at the left arm. Now my shoulders are my shoulders, and this is how the shape of triangle fits with me. Don't have a death grip. Don't go into the shoulder. I like to just lift the hand here. Yoga, you get a wonderful, wonderful, strong strengthening of the core. Try to keep your head in alignment with the rest of your spine. Inhale. That left hand is lifting us up. 5-pointed star. Adjust both feet. And then release your arms. Roll your shoulders back and around. So your feet are still strong. Look to make sure that they're in the same alignment. For some reason that foot ended up in front. Tuck your tailbone, lengthen through your spine. Let your arms come out in T position. Relax your shoulders. Visualize balloons holding up your hands. You're going to pivot the left foot out 90 degrees. And if you do it properly, and you'll know how it feels, the left heel is in straight alignment with the right instep. I'm going to push that right heel out a little bit. So instead of my foot being like that, it's slightly like that. I started to go like that. No, I'm jumping into the pose to where it's going to be ending instead of where it is right now. Feel those hips. Inhale, the arms out again. Pressing through the left hand, you push your right hip out a little bit. Stretching the left side of your body. This hip may feel totally different. And when you come as far as you can, I just notice I'm coming forward. I'm drawing back with that right shoulder. Let the left hand come down to where it goes. Doesn't matter, every day can be different. You can look at your foot, look straight ahead, or look towards the ceiling. I don't find that helpful in my balancing. So I usually look straight down. Pressing the arms away from each other. Pressing the crown of the head away from the tailbone. As you hold a pose, just breathe into it, and you may notice that, wow, this deep breathing, I have more space here to open my rib cage. I have more space between my hands. My shoulders can relax even more. Inhale, that right arm lifts us up. 5-pointed star. Bring your arms down. Give yourself a hug. A little wiggle. Down. Other direction. Little wiggle. Down. Stepping your feet together. I'm going to do my variation of, I forget what it's called, but we're basically going to twist our bodies, thread the needle. I cannot do that on my knees and with my torso and my back issues and everything. I cannot do that on my knees because there's too much compression, collapse in the front. So open your feet. It could be a little bit further than it was for triangle. Bring your hands to your hips. Your weight is equal between the front and back of the feet. Take a breath in, straight spine, leading with your heart. Come down. Stay at 90 degrees. Try not to block your knees, because when you do this, any connection with the earth, I lost. So keep those kneecaps lifted. Keep those knees slightly bent. Stay here. Feel your lower back working. The entire body is helping to balance you, because the heavy thoughts are way in front. Then bring your hands down to the ground. You can bend your knee slightly if you have it, or you can use a block. And we're going to twist around our spine. The knees, the feet are parallel. The arms are underneath the shoulders. Then you're going to take your left hand directly underneath your sternum. You're going to take your right arm, bring it up to the ceiling. Feel that stretch. Notice that the chest is perpendicular to the hips, and there's really no weight on your spine. Exhale, pressing the hands away. We're going to bring it across the body, and the right hand's going to grab the left calf or ankle or shin or whatever. And keep pressing the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Find your balance, front, back, side to side. Let that gentle pressure with the right hand help pull that shoulder underneath the left shoulder. Before it was above, now it's underneath. Inhale, bring the arm up just to unwind the spine. Exhale, the right hand magically goes where the left hand was. The left hand, press the fingers away, come up. And exhale. Comes through. Grab the outside of the right calf. And notice I'm letting that right shoulder go forward and the left shoulder is going under. Now, theoretically, they can be one shoulder on top of the other. It doesn't matter if you can't. Oh, but feel that wonderful stretch through there. Whoa. Inhale. The arm comes up, stretch it up. Feel all the space between the crown of the head and the tailbone. Exhale, bring that hand directly underneath your shoulders. And if you can, let your elbows go towards you and just let your torso hang. Beautiful stretch in the entire back of both legs, the buttocks, the lower back. Feel there's space there. Your weight, the heavy thought you have, is what's helping your spine to open up. And then you can straighten your arms. You can heel toe your feet together, or you can ground yourself using your back muscles coming up. And let your shoulder blades go behind you. Lengthen the spine. I love that twist. I really do. I really can feel the twist, the intricacies of the twist from the tailbone to the atlas, your top vertebra. And I think for my body, that's a very safe twist because I'm not trying to balance or anything. Now we're standing up. Find Tadasana. Your feet are hip width apart. Your waist equal between your toes and your heels. Pick up your toes and place them one at a time down on the mat. We're going to do a little bit of a balance. So let your feet ground your feet. Feel that the energy of the feet is going below your mat, below the earth. Feel the energy through your torso going through the crown of your head. It's almost like somebody's taking a golden thread here and lifting you up. You become weightless. Tadasana is a wonderful way to stand if you know you're going to be standing for a while. Now, we're going to let the weight just flow in to the left leg. That hip does not move out. You just are leaning just slightly over. You're going to bring your right foot up. I'm the queen of balance right now. So anytime you move or come out of a pose, you want to go back to the very beginning. Left, weight, right leg up. Bring as close to your chest as you can. Flex your foot, point the toes, flex your foot, point the toes, flex your foot. Your shoulders are low, open your sternum. Make circles with the ankles, going in the other direction. If you want, you can straighten that leg out. That's not doing me any favors today, so ignore me. And think about lengthening. Instead of coming down to hold the leg, we're lengthening through the left side of the body. And then gently release the leg. Now there's different schools of thoughts, to get the leg to release. I learned that if you just go right back into Tadasana, standing mountain pose, you feel that the sensations from the left leg bouncing and the right leg lifting and moving, they come back to neutral, they come back to true, they come back to balance. Now stand in Tadasana, feel the nuances, the weight completely grounded in the center of your feet, kneecaps lifted, tailbone slightly tucked, lengthen through the vertebra. Now let your weight flow into your right leg. Ground it. Feel it going deep into the earth. Lifting your left knee up, then clasp it. Don't forget to breathe. The deeper breathing, the easier it is to balance. And then point and flex. Knees, Okay, so I came out. I'm grounding on the right side and going back like I haven't left. And circles the ankle in one direction and the other. I lost it, so I'm not going to give up. I'm going to just slowly bring it up and then release it yogically. And let your weight be an equal on each leg. If you want, you can move. I don't find that releases it any, except for I have a lot of tightness here. So you take your hand and you gently tap. Oh, we haven't done that. We'll do that next week. Maybe I'll make a note and remember. Ah, that feels good. And you can do this in child pose. Loose thumb, loose wrist. Oh, that feels good. Okay, so we did that. Okay. Now, we're going to do another balancing pose. This is, I think, the most beautiful pose. It's also different, and there are many different layers to it. So basically what you want to do is see where you are right now. It's called Pose of a Dancer, and we'll see how I do tonight. Okay, so standing in Tadasana, equidistant, front, back, side to side. Lift the kneecaps, front of the quadriceps, tuck the tailbone slightly, and feel automatic lifting through the vertebra. Do you feel taller than you did when we started? Now, once again, your weight just flows into your left side. You're not moving your hips or jutting or anything. You're going to lift the right foot off the ground. You're going to raise the foot. You're going to grab your ankle or your instep. If you grab your instep, the shoulder's really going to open out. We don't necessarily need that. So grab your ankle and then bring your knees together. Beautiful stretch in the front of the right thigh. Lengthen out of that left hip. If you notice maybe you start collapsing into it, lengthen out of that hip. Then bring the arm up. The left arm's up. Press the fingers away from the left foot and the left foot away from the fingers. Take a breath. This is perfect. If you want to, you can start to bend on your left hip. The right knee's going out in alignment with the right finger or the left fingers. Now, we've all seen the ice skaters that take this to a further level. We don't need to do that. It amazes me they can do anything on those little ice skates. Don't forget to breathe. The crown of the head is moving away from the tailbone. Inhale with control. You always come out of the pose opposite the way that you came in. Release the left arm. Release the right foot. And stand in mountain. If you want to, you can do your knees in circles. It's okay. I mean, it does work. Sometimes we feel like we're doing something because we may not have the patience to be able to stand here and let those sensations release. Come back into Tadasana, standing mountain pose. And close your eyes and just notice how you feel. And gently let your weight go into your right leg. The hip's not jutting out or anything. It's just a nice little lean. Make sure you ground your toes. Then when you're ready, lift the left foot. Grab the ankle. Bring the knees together. If you don't go any further than that, do this because the quadricep, feel that wonderful stretch. We don't get that stretch, this particular stretch. Okay, so I came out of it. I'm going back to mountain. I'm finding the balance. And then I'm lifting. And feel that stretch. One side may feel totally different than the other. And good night, good night. I got the arm up before the foot went down, so I'm going to stay here. And since I'm not holding this, I feel like I'm collapsing into that hip. What I'm trying to do now is lift out of it, open into it. Everything's pulling away from the center, which is leaving the center free and open. And then release your arm, release your leg, find your Tadasana. Okay, so just because it'll feel good, I want to roll down. What am I doing? Yeah, I know what I'm doing. So let the arms be heavy, let the shoulders come forward, let the head relax, the neck is long. Finding your balance on your feet. You're going to see if you can sort of vertebra by vertebra roll down. This is a great way to notice where you tend to carry stress in your back. If the shoulders are getting tight, just wiggle your arms. Notice I'm trying to keep my weight equidistant, front, back, side to side. And if you find a place that, oh, it feels really good in my lower back here, you can stay here and take deep breaths. The inhalation goes all the way to that part of your back. The exhalation comes from that part of the back, releasing. Each inhalation is a chance to create space. Each exhalation is a chance to relax down. Then I'm going to ground my hands, bring my knees down. You can come down into a squat and do it. The legs come out to the side. I haven't done this in a long time, so bear with me. We're going to do head of a cow pose. We're first going to do it with the legs, and then we're going to do it with the arms, and at some point in your practice, and if you're not comfortable with this, don't do it. It's a lot of hips, it's a lot of shoulders, and the rest of it. If you have a strap, get it. This is my little shorty strap. Okay, but first we're going to do the legs, and then we're going to do the arms. I think I want to come up here so I don't have this board under me. Hi! Right. So you're in table pose. You're going to take your left leg over, cross it over your right leg, the knees in the same alignment. Open your right foot out just slightly and just start to press your weight back. You don't have to go all the way back, just explore. Now, if you can have a block under you, do so. I don't know how to deal with the block here, but I am coming down, so I'm sitting on my right foot. My hips are opening. Beautiful stretch on the left side, the top of the foot. Theoretically, and I'm not sure if I have it in me, is you're sitting on the ground. Now this knee I fell on, so it changed. And you can have your hands, this is called princess pose. Your soles of your hands on the soles of your feet. The palms of your feet are on the palms of your hand. Try to let that left butt cheek ground so you're sitting almost equally on both. It's easy to lean in this. So take a breath from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Roll your shoulders back. Okay, I'm going to do something that I don't know where I learned it, but I love it. Some people can do it, some people can't. What we're going to do is simply pivot on the balls of our feet. So we're going to take our hands over to the right side, come up onto our feet, keep walking. The feet are pivoting. The hands go over to the left. As you come over, the right leg's over the left. And of course, this hip's been interesting. So my cows are, adjusting with the times and the body that they have. One side may be very tight and you won't be able to do it. That's fine. Just sit cross-legged. If you can, let your hands be on. Now this foot's forward and this foot's almost underneath my hip. That's fine. But I'm trying to sit, even though I have more weight on my left hip, I'm trying to ground that right butt cheek. The leg part of head of a cow. And so, somehow unravel yourself mindfully with awareness. And then I'm going to sit on my feet, or you can sit cross-legged depending on what it is. And I'll show you the arm positions. Oh, it's so cool. Now, we're just going to do it this way, but the rule of thumb, if you're doing the legs and the arms, the knee that's down is the elbow that's up. So, we're going to take the strap in our right hand, bring it up by our ears. Then we're going to bend the elbow, dropping the strap down the back. Try to get that elbow as much over the shoulder. I have okay shoulders for this. This is not that hard. Then you're going to take your left hand behind you, bring it as high as is comfortable. And then notice I'm going like this a little bit. I'm aware of it. I'm doing it. And what I'm trying to do, once I grabbed it with my left hand, grab the strap, Now, you can move your shoulders in a way. So if we were like this with the left leg over the right leg, we would be coming forward towards the left. Feel that stretch. Inhale, come up. Release your left hand, the right arm. Put your strap on the left side. Give yourself a squeeze and release of the shoulders. You can do the large muscle there. You can give yourself a hug, pat on the back, change it. So, now to do the other side, you're going to have the strap in the left arm, bring it up. You may want to wiggle. Okay, that feels better. Bring it up, bend the elbow. The right hand comes behind you, finds the strap, and then you're going to pull between the two sides of the strap to try to get the left hand behind your head and the right elbow behind your right back. Now, when I was younger and a lot more flexible, I was able to get my fingers to touch. Don't expect that. Go to where you feel the stretch. Now I'm feeling like I'm lifting my right shoulder, so I'm going to roll it back and down. So the tightness that was coming up because I was holding the shoulder, I released it. And so now with, if we had the right leg on top of the left leg, we would be going over to the right. Feel that nice stretch from the hip to the elbow, the left hip to the right elbow or left elbow. And then come up, release the hands, and shake it out, massage it out. Oh, shoot. So, now we're going to do another one of my favorite poses. It's called alternate leg stretch. And you can go, you know, as light or as heavy as you feel. Don't have heavy in the word, other than your shoulder blades being heavy, opening your back, your hands being heavy, creating space in the arms. We're going to do alternate leg stretch. Wonderful stretch. Okay, so you're going to take your left leg, bring it high on the right thigh. If you can do half lotus, you can put the foot high on the thigh. I did that a couple times. I don't ever need to do it again. I know I could. I knew at that moment that I had it in me, and that's fine. The arms go up, shoulder blades are down. We're going to lift through the fingers and through the sternum, lifting out of that right hip. Feel how tall you are. Exhale, you're going to come forward from the hips. And you'll feel this leg starting to wake up and go, okay, okay. So when you get to the point before discomfort, but you want to feel that you're stretching it, stop here, open your chest, and then exhale. Just bow down over that leg. It's straight in front of you. And notice I can't start at the tailbone, and now it's rolling all the way up to my top of my head. To come up, we're going to inhale. We're going to press our hands on the crown of our head forward. We're going a little bit further forward. Arms by the ears. Straight spine, come up. Exhale, your hands come behind you. Fingertips facing forward. Keeps you from locking the elbow. And I start to press my fingers into the ground. Press my palms into the ground. Press my shoulder blades together. And lift. Tuck your chin. You don't want your head hyperextending down the back. If you're young and want to, you can lift your hips up off the ground. And then I'm going to come up. Stretch out my left leg. Do a little squeeze and release. Notice where you're feeling the muscles. Notice how the right leg feels maybe a little bit longer. So then, once you find your staff pose, remember the staff pose we did at the very beginning, press your hands into the ground, lift, and try to keep that openness between each vertebra as you bring your weight off. So now we're going to turn the right foot out, the right knee out, foot high on the left thigh. Hello. Inhale, we're going to come up, lift up, come out of that left hip. Breathe, shoulder blades are down. Moving just from the hips. We're not moving from the back at all yet. You're going to come forward. You're going to feel the back of this left leg really wake up. Go to the point that it feels comfortable stretch. If you're feeling it behind your knees too much, bend that knee slightly or back it off. The spine is straight. The front of the body is open. Come as far as is comfortable. Notice how the right groin opens up. And then once you come as far as you can, with the straight spine, exhale from your tailbone, round down the crown of your head. Your elbows are soft. The gentle, subtle weight of the elbows and the shoulders are helping you come down. Gently pulling against your fingers can help you come forward at the hip. Whatever works, mindfulness in yoga. When you notice and you're mindful that you'll feel that there's more space, I have more space, I can take a deeper breath in and maybe go a little bit further forward or a little bit further down. Inhale, bring the arms forward, look your lower down than when we rounded before. Come up, stretch up, opening that chest. Exhale, hands behind you. Weight from the fingertips to the palms of the hands, leaning back, and open your chest. We don't need you there. Hi. He's adorable. And then come up. Psst. Vamos. And then we're going to come down to lying down. I was going to do another twist, but I like to have the twist and we don't have the time. So you're going to ground your legs, ground your feet, and then you're going to spine roll down. Vertebra by vertebra, bring your arms up over your head. You can stretch the right side of your body, the left side of the body, both sides. Take a breath in, exhale. I'm going to bend my knees. My lower back is arching. Lift the tailbone, bring the hips forward, and bring the knees to your chest. And then gently let them rock from side to side. If you want to, your head can roll in the opposite direction. Your nose is rolling in the opposite directions of the knees. This is a nice, very gentle, very supported twist. And then you can go in a lazy 8. I like up on the outside, down in the middle, up on the other side, because that gets deeper into your lower back. We carry so much stress in our lower backs. And then big circles. And going in the opposite direction. And then again from side to side. You can bring your feet to the ground. Notice how your back feels. Wiggle into your shoulders. Your arms are out at a comfortable distance away from your body, and the palms are opening up towards the universe. Now, if your lower back is really tight, you can leave your knees bent with your feet however far from your body as you want, but instead of having the feet parallel, you want the toes to be just ever so slightly towards each other. And if you try that, you realize, I can relax every muscle in my body and my knees aren't going to fall over to the side. I tend to start out with my lower back like this, and then as I feel my body releasing, I can straighten my legs and find comfort in Savasana. Savasana is literally the corpse pose. In this pose, you are comfortable enough that you can let go of every single muscle in your body. Feel how much space you are. You're puddling on the earth, expanding in all directions, from your sternum to all your extremities. You can take your hands in front of you And you can rub the palms together, generating heat. And then palm your eyes. Feel that radiating warmth going through your palms to your eyes. Maybe you're seeing colors in the back of your eyelids. Maybe shapes moving. Maybe moving gently from one color to another. Or just see black. Or whatever is there. And then just using circular motions, lying on your back. You're going to start to massage your forehead, your nose, your cheeks, moving towards your jaw, and the back of your neck, just a gentle squeeze and release. And then you're going to take your fingers and working around your earrings and whatever thoughts you have between the ears, start to move your fingers around all the whorls and the lobes of your ears. With very gentle pressure, let the fingers touch the back of the top of the ears down to below the lobes, just making little C's on the back of the ears. And then wiggle the ears. And don't forget these little divot things on the front of the ears. And then allow your body to come to rest. Resting lightly upon the earth. Notice how spacious you are. Every muscle is relaxed. The back of your head is on the occipital lobe. You don't want the chin lifting up because then there's tightness in the back of the neck. So just press up through the crown of the head. Let your shoulders walk down your back. Your arms are open and relaxed. Your fingers, your hands are open and relaxed. Feel your weight on your buttocks. Feel how far your toes are away from your thighs. Laying gently on the earth on your back. Your chest is completely open. Your heart is supported once again under your shoulder blades. Send your breath through your body. Checking in to any areas there may be a little smidgen of tightness. Send the inhalation directly into that spot. Feel it expand as you inhale. And when you exhale, you've broken the chains of tightness so that tightness can leave with your breath. Relax your face. Your forehead is soft. Your eyes are closed. Feel the breath going in and out of your nose. Just a natural, normal breath. Just watch the breath and maybe notice rhythms or an occasional deeper inhalation. Whatever it is good. Relax your jaw. Feel the breath on your upper lid. Give yourself a little half smile. Relax your chin. Feel your ears moving towards the ground. Tucking your chin just slightly, lengthening the back of the neck. Nothing's leaving the ground. It's just a very gentle tuck of the chin. Breathing into your upper back, the shoulders and the shoulder blades. Your arms are a comfortable distance away, the palms are up, and feel your shoulders relaxing. Feel relaxation rolling from your shoulders, through your elbows, through your forearms. Relax your wrists, your hands, and your fingers. See if you can notice your tailbone and take a deep breath in, creating space from the tailbone all the way up the vertebra to the back of the neck. And when you exhale, just relax even more. Maybe you want to still take another deep breath from your tailbone. Feel it moving up your back as your ribcage opens and the chest fills. And the sternum opens. And then just let the air release. Relax your upper chest, your rib cage. Let your belly be soft and moving just gently with each breath. We're not trying to deepen our breath. We're trying to soften into relaxation. Feel your hips spreading out on the earth. Feel all the space between your atlas and your tailbone. Your ribs are being very lightly held by the spine. Relax your lower abdomen. Relax your thighs, the backs of your knees. Notice your shins lengthening away from your hips as your calves pull gently upon the earth. Feel your ankles relax. Your heels are resting on the earth softly, easily. Your feet are a long distance away from your head. Your toes are usually opening up and out to the sides. Relaxing the soles of your feet, the tops of your feet. And let each toe melt away in deep relaxation. And notice the hold on your thoughts becoming lighter. We know we do not need to get totally involved in each thought. That's your mind trying to let you think how important it is. And it is important, but not to the cost of ease. So let your thoughts just flow across your mind. Important thoughts do tend to come back at a more appropriate time. And just let your awareness rest within your breath. Notice the inhalation. And there's a pause. And notice the exhalation. Let your breath breathe you. And letting your awareness begin to meander through your body. Noticing how different each part of your body may feel from before. There's no need to get involved with it. Just notice it. Relish it. Savasana is yogic sleep. So your body completely relaxes. And your mind rests. And we need this deep rest even more now with the stressful times. But the best thing you can do to get you through stressful times is to focus on your breath. Get to know your body so you can tell that little thing there is going to end up into an ache, and so you can send your breath to that shoulder. The inhalation is a chance for it to expand, and each exhalation is a chance to let it go. And there will always be another inhalation. And you can stay in Savasana as long as you wish to tonight. But if you wish now, you can start to gently deepen your breath. Feel how each inhalation gradually gets more full and each exhalation gets gradually more complete. Notice again the different parts of your body. How do you feel? Is there more space? Do you feel more open? Do you feel more relaxed? Whatever you feel is what is. And you can gently start to move and stretch your body a little bit, letting the smaller stretches expand to larger stretches. Stretching your arms over your head, your feet from your hips. Stretch the right side of the body, stretch the left side of the body. Bring your hands and give yourself a hug. And if you wish, you can bring your knees to your chest and let the knees go side to side, lazy eights, circles, massaging your back. Notice how differently your back feels on the earth from when we began. And then when you find yourself ready with your knees to your chest, you're going to roll on to either side, whichever you prefer. And with the bottom hand being under the head and the top hand being across the chest on the ground, just lay here in fetal position. The very first yoga pose anybody has ever done. Everybody has done this, fetal position. And this is how I know the most on how much space I've created, because I can breathe more deeply. I can feel how my body is opening and more in tune with the earth from when we first laid down. And then when you're ready, you can use your hands to come up into your comfortable cross-legged seated position, your meditative pose, however that may look for you. When my hip was really bad, I was able to sit on the tops of my feet and able to find enough comfort that I could go into meditation. And meditation is simply sitting in stillness. It's nothing you try to do Because the more you try to meditate, the more elusive it is. What you do is you just stay with your breath. Your body is balanced because of all the stretching. Everything we do in Hatha Yoga, the yoga of the body, is to allow us to sit for longer periods of time without discomfort in our meditative pose. A wonderful goal. Just let your thoughts flow freely. Let your entire being take these moments to recharge and renew. The daily meditation practice is a wonderful practice, and it's great for you. And if you wish, you can bring your hands to your heart center, prayer pose. And we began the class with a little bit of howling at the, don't do that, howling at the moon. And so let's honor and recognize the differences now from before, more relaxation, more calmness, deeper breathing, stretching and moving the muscles. So we will end our practice with 3 sounds of Om. And you can really put in your heart into it because it's just you. And so with your own breath, when you're ready, take a breath. Taking this feeling of peace and well-being with you for the rest of the day and the rest of the week and even the weeks following. I bow to the divine I see so clearly within you, even electronically. Namaste. Hope to see you Sunday. If you want to make a donation, you can go to paypal.me/donatebliss and just note what class it is that you're doing it for. And where's that little button? Oh, there it is. Bye.